it a good time to invest in real estate? So I'm Loral, the millionaire maker and a real estate millionaire. So I'm going to say it's always a good time to invest in real estate. We're going to talk about three things. Number one, where are the profitable opportunities? They're in a variety of places. You're going to be surprised what's going on in the market. Number two, where is the inventory growing? And number three, I'm going to talk about what kind of market is it? So you can be ready. Is it a buyer, seller, investor? What kind of market? Stay to the end and you're going to find out. So first of all, let's talk about the market, right? So I had a team go out because I'm always looking. And right now I'm coming out of a big development cycle given the pandemic. I was in Boise. We bought tons of land, built tons of construction. Also in the Kansas Midwest market, buying multiple families, Airbnbs, got a lot of that going on. Still have lots in Texas. So got a lot of real estate around the country. Always have, always will. Also growing land that I'm putting a cannabis farm on. So I'm in a lot of places, a lot of different strategies. Been doing it since 1999. So at the end also, I'm going to talk to some of you beginners about where I would start and give you a big gift. But let's talk about the profitable opportunities that my team had found. So how to discover the profitable opportunities in real estate despite the declining home prices across the United States. Here's what we found. Home prices are declining across the U.S. I think we all know that. Not everywhere, though, so I'll come back to that. Nearly a third of the metro areas posted annual decline prices in the first quarter for the housing market. Again, we're talking single-family homes. But it's interesting, there's a lot of big firms that are actually buying multiple homes because they're wanting to make this a renter nation. So they're buying big conglomerates of homes to then force renting, which is now really supported by the high interest rates. So that makes it a little more challenging for those who do want to buy. But then there's a whole other policy that's going on. My son works in Congress. If you haven't been watching, you landlords, which I've been a landlord, huge advocate of landlord and landlord laws. Ohio, the Midwest have some of the strongest landlord laws. Places like California, they actually took on this unbelievable agreement that you can actually squat for a year. In Idaho, you can now squat for 3 months. So look at the states, how long you can squat, and do you really want to be a landlord there? If I was a landlord in California, I'd be fighting the government there, saying you're out of your mind. You want us to own the very real estate, and you want to bring commerce to this state that has massive debt, and then you handcuff us by allowing a tenant to stay. Well, I have to pay for the mortgage. They don't have to pay for their rent for a year. Don't know how you feel about it, but your senators and congressmen, they need to hear about it. It's really irritating being a landlord in some of these states because of what's going on. And I don't know about you, but this is not a nation of renters. It's a nation of real estate owners. There's my little rant. Continue. Real estate is very local. I've always said it's zip code centric. There are local markets, some that are going to rise, some that are going to fall. Believe it or not, the West Coast is under a huge increase, but I just got back from the DC and the Northeast. I see cranes everywhere. Right here in Reno, Nevada, another market that is going to be very specialized markets is student housing markets. So you're going to find more and more schools that are growing need more student housing. The other market that's still growing, still needs more real estate is assisted living. So you're going to find pockets of strategies, but you can't do them all at once. So again, you beginners, or if you're re-entering the market, you've done it before, wait till the end. I'll tell you where I think you should be where the markets are. So again, you can follow it. It's zip code centric. And as you really look at that, say, what are your strategies? What do you want to do? Now let's go to number two. Is inventory growing? Believe it or not, again, West Coast, Northeast, I think they're again, zip code centric. Just in my county, they just got approval for 2,500 new homes. Now they're going to be very economic value kinds of homes. And again, I see bodies of teams buying 10, 15, 20, making it all a renter market. So I think you're going to see this variance. The other part of a market that you're going to see in the inventory is you're going to see a foreclosure market coming. There are a lot of groups that have been talking about it. There's experts that I've actually brought to my community talking about it, but it's going to be a higher level foreclosure market. In Boise, we had houses on the market. We were building for the 300-400 market, and we jumped to 6. We jumped to the high 5s. We got it. And a lot of those, they're going to become toppling down, and the value of those houses are going to land in the 3s or low 4s. So that means they're going to get potentially a mortgage called. They're going to need finance help. They're going to need to refi and or get foreclosed, which there's going to be a massive market for those kind of properties. So I think let's go to the next piece about how are you in this market. First of all, what's your strategy? A lot of you got to pick your strategy, and you can't do everything at once. I just given you a variety of strategies. Like doing land and development is very different than just going and buying apartments. And don't think you can do it all. You got to pick a strategy. And which one are you going to do first, second, third? And I'm going to say, do what I did. I struck that $25,000 check and I got a mentor. So 1999, I was pregnant with my son, got a mentor, which then I joined a team of very successful guys. I mean, these guys have been decades together, raised millions in capital. So I was a minority player on the team, but I came with a database which could help raise capital. They did all that work. I learned how to do it, but we were successful. We didn't glitch. Some of you, you're out there by yourself being a lone ranger. I'm going to research enough on the internet, then I'm going to figure this out and be a lone ranger. Good luck. There's a lot of risk in being a lone ranger. It's a 100% problem if you have a 100% problem. Why don't you at least join together with 5, 6, 10 people, get a pool of money, buy a variety of properties. So if one goes down, you only have 1% of a problem versus 100% problem. Some of you are completely have odd financing, cash flow, and money rules around investing in real estate. What do I think right now? Is it a buyer seller market? I think it's an investor market. I think investors are going to find great values in apartments. I want to speak specifically, those of you who are in NFL, you just went through a draft, or any of you student athletes, any of you, men or women, getting NIL money. Here's the real estate strategy that I've been screaming from the rooftops. Do not go buy a home, and especially a big fancy one. I don't care if you got a 1.7. Travis Hunter just got a 1.7 million in NIL money. Don't go buy a big home. What are you going to do with a big home? You went from a dorm to maybe an apartment to now a big home. Why? Like, go buy at least a duplex or a fourplex, rent the rest to your players and your friends. Do the same in the NFL. You're going to move around team after team after team. Because of the way money's flowing in professional sports, only 3% actually make it. So why aren't you accumulating doors during your career and then end with the big dream home that you want to have? And if you go buy mom and dad a home, why aren't you using LLC and corporate structure? What I want to do for you is give you a huge gift. When I became a millionaire in 1999, I wrote a 6-hour, 168-page document on how to pick a strategy. So I'm going to give you the first few modules for free to start looking at strategy. I think you should always enter the market as an investor, not a homeowner, home buyer. You still have the right later to go into your first-time home buyer, mortgages, and all of those kinds of things. But start as an investor, get a duplex, fix one side, flip to the other side, get fourplexes. Keep moving around in your early career. It's exactly what I did. I didn't buy a home until I was 34 when I had my son. I just had doors. So have doors as my number one strategy for you. So if you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, ask a question, make a request. And for those of you that are giving, I'm going to say misinformation. So many of you beginners, because I promise you, I talk about you beginners at the end. A lot of you beginners, you want to start with wholesaling. So wholesaling, in my opinion, is not the easiest way to start. Fix and flipping is the easiest way to start. You go buy something that's local, you partner with a few subs and even an advanced handyman in your area, and you can get a good fix and flip done. Wholesaling, you need a buyer list and you need a seller list, and your job is to match make. So when you have no database, you have no buyers and no sellers, how are you going to get a wholesale deal to work? So unless you're part of a community, which you'll be part of our community if you want. So I'm going to put another link in here if you want to talk to one of our strategists. I have multi-millionaire real estate coaches that were trained our way that could be your coach in real estate to get you started and help you do it right. But boy, starting in wholesaling with no community, no access, hard way to start. And then you'll get frustrated. Just go buy a simple little fix and flip, make some money, and let's begin. I'll talk to you tomorrow.